Right. Yeah, got my chat up, got me up. Phew. That was a bit, I don't know, the usual technical problems of going live. I haven't got my Facebook set up to check it's gone live on there, but everything says it's fine on here, so that should be okay. So, hello everybody. I've still got a bit of a cough, so I apologise if I keep having to cough a little bit during this. But yeah, I we'll see how we go today. I've got a lovely card for you. So I'm going to get into it in a minute. Just to let you know a couple of things. The clearance rack has been updated, so there's loads of wonderful bargains on there, and they're up to 60% off. So it's definitely worth having a look at the clearance rack. And of course, the new catalogue starts in just a couple of weeks' time on the 1st of May. In fact, less than a couple of weeks' time. Next week on the 1st of May, the new catalogue starts. Mine should be arriving. I did put in the order quite early in April, but unfortunately there's been delays. So instead of it being, hello, Margaret, lovely that you can make it. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, so instead of it being a pre-order, it's not going to arrive till the actual catalogue starts. So apologies to anybody who wants a catalogue, because they're not arriving till after it actually starts, which I'm a bit upset about, but hey, never mind. Right, let us just swap views. There we go. So here's my desk, because I'm going to show you the card I'm going to play with today. And I've called it a double flap card. And I got the idea from this card, and this is one of the swaps that I received On Stage. So you are, hello Anne, lovely to see you, hi. When you go to On Stage, the event for all demonstrators, I went to Rotterdam, which is for everybody in Europe, and we did have some from people from Australia and from the USA as well. But any demonstrator can go to any of the On Stages. And what many of us do when we go is take swaps. And I showed you some of the swaps a while ago, but this was one of the swaps I got. Now, it's used the Zoo Party DSP, which of course is retired. It was part of Celebration. And the lovely lady who gave me the card is Emilie Rabeland. I hope I've actually described that okay. She's Noemont Scrap by Millie at gmail.com. Anyway, this was the person, one of the demonstrators, and I've called it a double flap card because it's got a basic card and then a little card on the front and another flap that comes across. And she's actually added a magnet to it to hold it closed. I don't think it necessarily needs that. I'm not going to put one in. But it's really rather nice, isn't it? She's taken a lot of trouble over putting this together, and she's cut out some of the images from the lovely DSP, just add a little bit to it around the papers there. It's just gorgeous. It's a lovely card. So that was the basis for the card I'm making today. And actually, I have already made one because I go to an Irish class. I'm learning Irish. And our teacher, and he won't be watching this, so I can share this, our teacher is 50. So I made him an Irish-based card. So I've got a shamrock. This is the clover punch that's retired now. So I've got a shamrock behind the 50. I've used the zoo paper again because it just rather suits him. And I've actually put, this just says happy birthday in Irish. And inside it says, thank you for being a wonderful teacher. So that I think it's his birthday on Saturday, I think, or early next week. Anyway, I'm taking that tonight for everyone to sign so that we can give him that tonight. So just put it safely away. Oh, getting it caught on the envelope. That's not very good. Yeah, so I've used the old Lucky Clover set as well, just to decorate the envelope and decorate the card a bit. So I thought I'd make another one and show you how, because they're fabulous cards. So I'm using Pebbled Path. These are all the bits I need. Obviously, I've got an envelope, which we'll decorate in a minute. Now, last week on my live, I did say I was going to decorate my my card with these new pearls. These are in the new catalogue. You can't get them yet, but you can from the 1st of May. Basic grey and smoky slate pearls. So I know I'm using Pebbled Path, and that's not either, but it actually matches. So I am going to use some of these today, I promise. So Emma Lou, if you are joining us, I do hope you do. You can remind me to, because she said on a message last time that she was going to remind me, but I finished the live before she could. So anyway, that's what we're hoping for. So I've already cut my bits, and I'll go through all the bits that you need. The DSP I've used is actually from the Nature's Sweetness, which I think is still available. It's going to retire, but it's rather nice. Nature's Sweetness. It's a beautiful set of DSP. It's got Pecan Pie Pebble Path, which is why I've used it, and beautiful gold. You can see the gold, hopefully, a little bit through the paper. There's lots of different papers in it. Anyway, let me just briefly show you. I don't think it's quite sold out yet, so you might have a chance of getting it. So these lovely gold papers, Pebble Path on the back there. This one, lovely gold with Pecan Pie sort of highlights on the back. Just lovely. Some nice sort of script type paper, which is always useful. Just stuck two of my bits to the back. That's not very good, is it? Right, let me go through what you need then. So for the base card, you need one piece, which is, just turn my thing over so I know which how big it is. So this is Pebble Path I've used, and it's 25 centimetres by 14.8, or in inches, that's 9.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And we're going to score it. And we'll start off by doing the scoring here. So I'm just going to, first of all, move your cutting blade well out of the way. Now to score it, you can score it at 10.5. I'm actually going to do it just a fraction less at 10.4. And I'll show you the reason why in a minute. That's the first score. So at 10.4 or 4.25 inches if you're doing everything in inches. And the second score needs to be at 21 or 8.5 inches if you're working in inches. So 10.4 and 21 or 4.25 and 8.5 if you're working in inches. And I'll do the other bit while I'm here. So the second bit of cardstock you need is 16 centimetres by 8 centimetres. This is going to form the little one on the little card that sits on the front. And this is 6 inches by 3 inches. And we're going to score it at 3 inches if you're working in inches, or 8 centimetres if we're working in centimetres. So I'm working in centimetres, I'm scoring it at 8 centimetres in half. And that's basically all the scoring you need. So this piece forms our base card. And how we're going to fold it, we're going to fold the first bit over, and you can see why. I shouldn't have perhaps used such a dark card, but anyway, it'll do. The first piece folds over, and this is why you want to make it just less than 10.5. So make it 10.4, so that you've got a little gap between there and the next fold, so that when you fold the second piece back over, it actually folds and doesn't get stuck on the edge of the card. If you do find that it's a little bit stuck there, just trim a sliver off the end of that card so that it does fold over properly. Okay, and my little tip that I'd showed people before, but because one of these is going to have its cut edge showing, if you've got a cut edge showing on your card, because when we use our trimmers, one side is obviously cut flat where the blade goes through, but the other side has a little edge to it. So that's going to show on the front of my card. So all I'm going to do is run my bone folder down that edge, and it gets rid of that little edge, which is really good, really so much better is how we want it. So that's the basic card. This is the mini card that sits on the front, simply folded in half, and that's going to be sticking on the front there, and that's what forms our double flap for the double flap card. But obviously we are going to do some decorating beforehand. So the other bits you need, the DSP. Now this depends really if you want to have how many panels you want to actually cover. So the minimum would be to have one piece for the back and one piece for the front. Okay, so that's the minimum you would want. And these pieces are 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre less than the card. So this is 9.9, or actually did it 10, doesn't really matter, 10 by 14.3 for those two pieces. You can have a third piece if you wanted here, and I might actually even use the reverse. Oh no, it's because it's the wrong way around if I do that. Oh, that one's the right way up, so I could use that one. When you've got, obviously, if you've got words and things, we need to have them there. That's quite nice, actually. Do you know, I might do that. Then I could use that bit in there as well. Oh, I quite like the words. Okay, we might do it that way round, and I just need an extra little bit for the ends. I'll tell you how big that needs to be. So I'll get the same pattern as I've used before, words are that way round. So those three main panels are 14.3 by 10, or in inches, it's 4 by 5 1/4. The little piece you need for the back panel and the inside of the back panel, these pieces are 3.5 centimetres by 14.3, or 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 inches. So I need mine 3.5 by 14.3, so I'm just going to cut that. So 3.5. I love that our trimmers are so easy to use because of the lovely measurements on them. 14.3. There's my other piece. I forgot to do the second piece I needed for that. So very simply, we can actually stick all of these on first. And I'll do that before I go through the bits I need for the rest of it. So let's get my... Which one shall I have? I shall have that one. That's best for inside because it's got a full... This one's got a sort of line down the middle, so I don't like that. So we'll put this one on the inside of the back. So do those measurements make some sense? I hope they do. Let me know if you've got any questions. So that's the inside. This one's the outside. Now, as I say, the lady I got it from, the one I've just shown you, the French one, she did put magnets on. If you're going to use magnets, you want to put it on before you stick the DSP on. Put it underneath the DSP. So I'm just quickly going to stick these down. This is the bit that always takes time, and I rush it through. If I'm recording videos, obviously I can go through a bit quicker and make it go quicker, but I'm doing this live, so I'm afraid you have to wait for me to... Just looking at, there are some words on this. I think I want it that way up. The words are all at different angles, so some of them are going to be not straight, but the most of them that way are then straight, so that's okay. And then in the middle here, we're going to have the one, that one's got the words the right way round, so this one needs to go here. And oh, you see that one, those bits of words are both the other way, so it doesn't really matter which way around. And I'm going to stick something on top, so it doesn't actually matter. Okay, so I'm going to stick some basic white on top, because obviously if you just use this dark DSP, which I rather like, but you can't write on it, it doesn't show anything. So we're going to do other things to make it a little bit better. So that's going to go in there. And this, I think, would make a nice men's card, actually. In these colours, I think it would look rather good. My final bit here, just very quickly. Not taking much care doing this, but it doesn't really matter with Tombow. You can get away with murder, really. Okay, so those are all my bits of DSP stuck on. There we go. Those nearly match. Right, so on the smaller piece, again, you've got a choice how many pieces of DSP you want. I've used this lovely script one with the sort of gold script on the pebble path, and I'm actually going to just stick, I think I'll probably stick it forwards and back. I'll think about that, actually, because I've got another piece to go in the middle, so might even cut another bit just to stick it on. We'll see. If I've got another piece of that paper, I might have used it all. So again, either 2 or 3 pieces of this. Oh, I didn't tell you the size of this DSP. This, for mine, because I'm doing it in centimetres, this is 7.5 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. If you're doing it in inches, so you've got your 3-inch base, it's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that's why I didn't do a third one. That's right. I'll show you why in a minute. I had another idea. Honestly, I had an idea that I've forgotten about. Well, who knows? So just going to stick this on. So this is it. Totally your choice whether you're going to put something on the inside here or not. And I'm actually going to, better stick it the right way around. That would help. Which way around the script is going, because it is script, even though I'm going to stick something on top. And I did cut these. I just had a little bit left. I didn't have enough to cut 3, but I have got strips. So I'm just going to use this here to just decorate with a strip. So it hasn't got a full piece because I did run out of this DSP. I remember now. That's why I only cut the 2 instead of 3 pieces. But I can put a little strip on there. That'll look all right. Just gives it a little something on there. I've got another strip here too. Should I put a second one on? Might as well. I've got it. So as I say, up to you how many strips of the DSP you want to put on these things. It's a personal thing, really. I quite like to cover cards with... I've just got glue all over my work surface. That's not very good, is it? I need to get rid of that. I'll just get my cloth. What can I say? I am a messy crafter. Ooh, noisy. That's got... Ooh, makes a nice noise, actually. Could play with that. Right, got rid of the glue. Okay, so that is my front card. So that is going to be stuck on like that. And I can actually stick this down now because I've just got the insides to put on, which are separate. So I probably will stick this down. So when you're sticking this piece on, if you're going to use a magnet, by the way, you want to put it on the front of this card to match the one you've put on the side here. I'm not going to, so I'm not showing you that. So when you stick this on, it just needs to be by eye. You don't need to be exact with it, but I would put it more or less in the center of this piece. It looks best, I think. So I'm going to have it centered side to side, and that is how it closes. So there we go. That is basically the double flap card. So I have 2 more bits, and these bits are so that I can put piece in there that's got something or on the front, and a piece for inside, which I might actually trim down. I don't think I want it quite that big. I've done it 0.5 centimetre smaller again, but actually I want more of that DSP to show, so we'll make it a little bit smaller again. So I did it 9.5. Let's go for 8.5 by 12.8 instead of 13.8. There we go. Yeah, that's better. So again, this piece can be whatever size you want. But I think that's better. Yeah, it shows more of the outside there, which is lovely. So I am going to actually, I've got 2 of these bits because one of them I'm going to put a sentiment on the front. The other one I'm going to stick in here. And again, I've got that one slightly smaller, so that's quite good. So that is, I can't remember what I cut that to actually. Good question. Let me just measure that. So I did this one at 6.5, so it's a centimetre less than that, which gives it a bit bigger border, which is better. So 6.5 by 6.5 centimetres, that would be 2.5 inches square if you're working in inches. Okay, is that straight? That doesn't look quite straight. Thank goodness for Tom, though. I might just be able to slide it a bit. It's the beauty of Tombow. You've got that little bit of wiggle room. That's a bit better. Yeah, good. Honestly, not sticking things straight. Right, so to decorate it today, I thought the layering leaves set, which is continuing, I'm glad to say. It's one of the current sets, which is continuing into the new catalogue. And it's rather nice, and it's got some beautiful sentiments. So I'm just going to make this a sort of generic birthday type card, and I think for men that's nice. So I'm going to make it best wishes on the front, and so happy to celebrate you inside. And I'm going to use some leaves just to decorate it. So I haven't got these out. I need to find them now. Where's my best wishes? That's best wishes. And I've just realised I've done my usual trick of leaving my stamp pads behind the computer. Apologies for a second. I'll just get some stamping blocks out. There we go. Hopefully you can only see me in a little tiny bit in the bottom anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But okay, so that's my best wishes. Just check it is best wishes. Yes, it is. Good. And I've got my Pebble Path stamp pad. It's obviously working in Pebble Path. I want to keep that colour coordination going. One of the beauties of Stampin' Up is the colour coordination. So just check any questions from anyone. No? Jolly good. Not picking up the ink so well. Let's see, should look all right. So we're going to have best wishes, which is picking up the ink absolutely fine. It's just me not thinking it was. I've got ink everywhere. That's that. And I'm going to use the sort of empty leaf, if you like, the sort of outline leaf one, because it matches, I think, the pattern on the DSP better. And I'm going to use, I'll just get some scrap paper out. Look, completely beautiful scrap paper. That's very unlike me. Normally it's already dirty, but I've obviously got a nice clean sheet in there. And I've got this out because I'm going to actually use the leaf around this a little bit, just to add a little bit more interest, but I'm going to use the stamping off technique, by which I mean I'm going to ink up the stamp it on the paper, and then stamp it on my card. And it obviously produces a much lighter image, which is what I want on here, because I'm going to be putting a few leaves around the edges here. Have some in the top corner as well. So stamping off, very simple technique, but it just gives a rather nice effect. So that is going to go on the front there. Obviously, if I had a name, I haven't got an intended recipient for this one, but I could always put the name on there, or the name in here, whichever, but I'm going to have it on here, I think. I don't know, actually, I might have it in there and then put something different on the front using this piece. I've got a second piece of this card. I might actually do a cut-out greeting on here. That might be better. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a punched-out greeting on there. So we'll stick this inside. There we go. Stick that on there. I think I'm going to actually find a happy birthday from somewhere, and then I can use the best wishes. But I wanted that so happy. Or so, what is it? I can't remember. Something about celebrating. Just a sec. Oh, need more stamps. Put the leaf on there for a minute. That's better, because this one can go on this one. So what is it? So happy to celebrate you. That's right. So that's what I'm going to have on this piece. So happy to celebrate you. Leaving room to write who it's from at the bottom. So that, oh, I do love our stamps. They always stamp so well. The beauty of Stampin' Up! Stamps. They're just great. So, got my stamps. My stamps are a bit of a mess. Excuse me. A bit of a mess on there. That's not good. So again, I'm just going to put a few little stamped off leaves around the edge here. Like that. That can go in the middle. Just clean that stamp as well. Now, just get rid of that now very dirty piece of paper. It can go. So this is the piece that's going to go in here, in the centre. So it's still got room for me to write a little message or write who it's from, which is fine. So we'll pop this in here. Oops. Like that. It definitely looks better with the being slightly smaller with the bigger edge to it, definitely, because I've put the white pieces on here. That looks better. So I'm happy with that. So I just need something for my front. I have got this piece of card, but I'm actually going to stamp. I think I will stamp happy birthday, actually. But I need to go and get one from another stamp set. So bear with me while I just find a quick happy birthday in one of these. Oh, which one? What's that one? Oh, I could use that. No, I've used best in best wish. I was going to use you're the best, but that's probably not right. Oh. Why can't I find a happy birthday when I need one? Oh, I have to move around and look properly at my stamps here. This is no good. Right. Oh, quickly, which set has got a decent happy birthday on it? Definitely found one the other day. Oh, what's that one? Oh, Happy New Year. No, that's no good. Right. Oh, and I've no idea who that is. I'll just have to ignore it for a minute. Everything going wrong today. Where's a decent happy birthday? For heaven's sake, there must be one. Right. I have actually got one. Sorry about the phone in the background. No idea who it is. If they want to really talk to me, they can bring me back later. Normally at this time, it's actually one of these, firms that want to scam you out of something, telling you your computer's gone wrong or something like that, which really annoys me. Okay, so we're going to just go with Happy Birthday. This is from an old retired set from Tin of Cards, but it's the best one I could find. Oh dear. So we're going to stamp that. It quite matches the sort of font of the rest of it, so that's fine. But instead of sticking it just flat on the front, I'm going to do something a bit more interesting with it, which is I'm going to, if I can find my scissors. Oh, for heaven's sake, I have to use these. Right. So one nice way to play around with sentiments is just to actually cut around them. I did this on a card the other day, actually, but it's just a nice way to shape rather than I don't always want to use a die or use a punch or something like that. So I can just use my scissors to just go vaguely around the edge of the shape that I've stamped. And I'm just using the stamp itself as the sort of guide as to where to, just make that a little bit rounder, where to go. So you can very simply just cut around it like that. And then I can stick that on here. Now, one of the things I wanted to say is just be careful about how much depth you put on the front, because the card itself, because it's got 3 folds in it, is already quite deep. But I think we can get away with a couple of little dimensionals on there. And I'm also going to add a little bit of twine behind it. So luckily Pebble Path is on the top. That's good. I don't have to take all the rest out to get it. So I need a little bit of tape. So a little bit of tear and tape, which is now stuck. Can't get it. There we go. So I'm going to have a little bit of tear and tape in the middle here. Make sure that's really well stuck down. And then I can use this. I could tie a bow with it, but I'm going to actually just do a little bit of a figure of 8. I can get it to bend the way I want. This is the ink color twine. So that's why it measures it does fit with the Pebble Path, but it is quite thick twine, this twine, so it is worth just taking some time to make sure it's going to bend the way you want it to bend. So it's going to stick up, so I just need to twist it. Try and get it to stick down. I may need to use a glue dot. It may stay down when I actually put the sentiment on top, so we'll see if that actually works. I'll just hold it down for a second while I finish taking it round and sticking it down there. So all I've done is use the bit of tape I've put across the centre just to stick pieces of this down to. I'll just get that up again because that just needs to be a little bit tighter in. I'm being fussy now. That will do. There. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on this and see if it holds down. Otherwise, I might need to use the odd little bit of little glue dot or something just to hold that down, because it's definitely springing up again. Because as I say, it's quite obviously tightly wrapped around its centre. So, oops, I actually stuck that on upside down. What am I like? So I have to come in a bit as well. There. It's not going to quite hold it down as much as I want, so I'm going to put one little glue dot just under that top piece. I'm going to squish. One of the little tips I've got for you is squish your glue dots, because you don't always want them to be sticking up. That's it. Because I want this to sit absolutely under the twine. There, so it's not sticking out at all and can't stick to anything. That's important. So this bit I think probably is going to be all right if I leave it. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop fiddling there. So there is the card. There is my fold on it. And because I promised Emily last time that I was going to use these, we're going to put some little gems on it. So with our packs of gems, there's so many of them. Obviously, we've got loads we can use here. I can see why she used these. I think if you wanted it to stay closed, using a magnet is a good idea. But to be honest, most people are going to want to show it, which means standing it up like that, so it doesn't actually matter. But if you want it to keep closed, then yes, a magnet. But I'm just going to use a couple of gems now. So I'm going to use the lighter ones. So we'll have a couple around the front here. Oh, these are nice. I hope you can see them. They are just gorgeous. Look at those. So as I say, these are in the new catalogue, so you can't get those yet. But I think those just add a little bit. So the twine, cutting out the sentiment and the pearls. Do you like that? Do you think it looks okay? Nobody's commenting on anything, but hey, never mind. Hopefully you like that. So this is my double flap card with my new pearls that you can't get till the 1st of May. All the rest of the things you can still get. DSP will be finishing on the 30th, but it's a double flap card because you've got the first flap there, the second flap there, and then the card itself to open. So did I show that actually in view? Let me try again. First flap, second flap, open. So all of the measurements and the pieces that you need are going to be on my blog, which will be published tonight. I just got to obviously add in this video to it and take a picture of the card. So I've actually got it to show you on there. So once I've put those on, the blog will be up later today. So if you want to get the measurements, if you didn't quite get them from the video, then obviously you can watch the video again to get them, or they will be in the blog this afternoon. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. If there is anything, let me put me back in while I'm talking to you. That's obviously better. Oh, can't do it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm back in. So if there is anything, any particular type of card or any technique you'd like to see in any of these lives, please do let me know. Thank you, Anne. Beautiful. You must try that one. Absolutely do. As I say, all the measurements will be there. And it looks so different when you use different papers. So this is my original one that I got as the swap. So using the Zoo Crew paper, obviously, and Granny Apple Green as the basic cardstock. So a very different look, but exactly the same card. So, I don't know why I'm doing that, because I've just changed the view, haven't I? I have to hold them up for you to see the two. So they are, oh dear heavens, what am I like? So there we have the one in apple green, the swap that I got from the lovely Emily Rabaland. Thank you, Emily. And this is the one I've made using the same fold and using the same measurements, but obviously looking very, very different. So yes, thank you, Margaret. Beautiful card. Thank you for joining me. So do go and get the measurements and have a look again at the video on the blog. Obviously, the video is staying up on YouTube as well. And I will see you again next week, hopefully. And I'll have another little project for you then. If you do have any cards or any techniques you want me to show, please do let me know. And I can always do those in this live. So thanks for joining me, and I shall say goodbye for today, and see you again soon, hopefully next week. Bye for now.